Welcome to the opening round of the 2025 Belcar Endurance Championship, first of 5 rounds. And we're at Circuit Zolder as part of the new race festival, and there's been some changes in the championship. Yes, we've changed the names of the classes a bit. It used to be GT and touring cars, but now we're talking about GT Cup, GT Sport, Super Sport. It was difficult for some people to make the difference between a touring car and a GT car. For example, if you look at the BMW GT4, it has 4 seats. What's the difference between an M4 and M3? So we've done a bit of restructuring in the names because everybody can follow then a bit better. But of course, the intention is that the cars in all classes are competitive with each other.
Omdat iedereen toch een beetje beter kan volgen. Maar het is natuurlijk de bedoeling dat natuurlijk in alle klassen de wagens onderling competitief zijn.
What races are on the program for this year? This year we've decided not to go abroad for once. Sometimes that foreign trip is pretty expensive for some teams. That is why this year we have opted for Zolder twice, Spa twice, which is also a circuit that people really love. And then of course the 24 hours of Zolder. There's been some changes in the lineups as well. Gina Jane, the Keersmaker, driving with a Porsche this year.
Het was even tijd voor verandering, een hele leuke.
It was time for a change, a very nice change of course, but Porsche also has its image a bit, and I'm a super fun car to drive. I've learned a lot from the M2, but this is something different. And your friend is no longer with you? No, Julie is not with us. She's expecting a baby. She's going to have a baby. So now she has that challenge she has to take on. And father and son Gulings are driving together on the Audi.
Ik ben heel fier dat we dat samen.
I'm very proud that we can do this together, especially how well and how many steps he has taken. It's phenomenal. I'm incredibly proud.
Ik ben ongelooflijk trots.
Where did the idea to race come from? Was it instilled from birth, or was it a bit pushed, so to speak? Well, it did not start from a young age. The last few years I came with Dad to the races, and then it's when it started, when we started to share the passion.
De passie wat te delen.
And then it's off to qualifying. This is the 98 Belgium Racing Porsche of Michael Cole and Brent Verheyen. Brent Verheyen wanted to do a season with Red Ant Racing, but he didn't find a teammate. And for now he's driving with Michael Cole in this Belgium Racing Porsche. Their teammates Dylan Derdala and Jan Lorijsen ended up in second on the grid.
Ik had een beetje pech gehad, Dylan
had a bit of bad luck. Dylan had done a good lap and he wanted to go back on new tires, but then the session was cancelled because of an accident. So okay, we started on the front row now, but I would have liked to be on pole, of course. But Glenn also did a super great lap, and second position is not too bad.
Tweede is okay.
The pole position is for Glenn van Parijs and his Dieter Luxury Performance by NGT Porsche 992 GT3 Cup. It's a very long name for a very fast car.
Glenn, nieuw seizoen.
Glenn, new season, and immediately fastest time in qualifying. Yes, indeed, that's right. We're P1 with a reasonably nice gap, so quality was good, the car was great as expected. I was able to prepare well at the start of the first race. It was a good feeling. It was a long time ago for me to do a full push lap, and I'm pretty happy with it.
Ik ben tevreden mee.
In the Grand Touring Sport class, it's the Sellerslag Racing Mercedes taking pole position with Van Hooydonk and Batrain.
We mogen zeker niet klagen.
We certainly can't complain. There's certainly still room for improvement, which is always the case, but I can't complain about the time and about the car. Why did you choose to drive with the Mercedes? Well, it's the SRT team as well. It's a really great team, and the car is really good on the track. It's more of a racing car than a Cayman or a BMW in my eyes, and yes, it's a very good car. It's really the case.
Dat is echt wauw.
In the Super Sport class, it started with a small incident for the big favourites, the VP Racing Audi. The 747 flies into the tyre wall, but would set the fastest time.
In het begin van de qualifying hebben we een slip.
Beginning of qualifying, we had a bit of an incident, ended up in the tyre wall. Damage was not too bad, so that's good. And then we were able to continue the session. Are you happy with the car now? Yeah, the car is pretty good. We had some problems with the brakes in previous years, but those have been solved now. The car is going well, yes. So what are your plans for this Belcar season? Well, it would be great if we could repeat last year. Last year we became champions, so it would be great if we could do that again. Of course, it's still a motorsport, and we'll see what this year brings. And then there's the smaller touring car classes. Club Sport goes to duct tape NCM.
De eerste sessie ging heel moeizaam.
First session was pretty difficult, a few problems with the car. The guys were able to solve it, and then I still managed to set a good time. What are your ambitions for this season? Well, this race is actually a test. We were mainly focused on the Zolder 24 hours. That's also the only one we're going to drive this year for the time being. In Club Challenge, it's the ML Motorsport BMW taking pole position. I started in the first sector and I saw the lap timer turn green. I said to myself, this is going to be the lap. And I sat down well for it, and the result is good. So what do you actually expect from the race? My partner is going to start and keep driving as long as possible, depending on what happens with safety cars or full course yellows or something. And then I'm going to adjust our strategy there and try to go for the win, of course. And this is the starting grid for the opening round of the Belcar Endurance Championship. 9 Porsches and 1 Audi in the top 9 positions. And then the first grid of the season. Plenty of spectators again for this National GT Championship. And Koen Waters is also driving. He wasn't supposed to start in this endurance race, but he couldn't resist the temptation.
Ik ging normaal gezien alleen de sprint rijden.
Normally I would do the sprint, but then suddenly I realized that after the first race in sprint I had to wait 4 hours for the second. So I could just as easily get back into the car and drive for another 2 hours. So it's just for fun. I'm pretty happy I'm doing a lot of mileage. Koen Waters with the David Tech BMW, second in the Supersport category. A minimum of 2 pit stops during this 2 hours and 5 minutes long race. Then we're off for the formation lap, and we're driving on board Peter Gullings in the Haas RT Audi GT2, and he can't get away from the grid. There's a bit of an issue there with the car, and the Audi has to be pushed back into pit lane. This will be a pit lane start for the yellow machine.
Ik voelde het toen ik de
I
eerste...
felt it when I drove out for the first time towards the grid that the car wasn't really running well. It wasn't reaching its revs. So I turned the car off and started again. I thought maybe it had cooled down too much, and we said, look, we're going to drive it to the grid, then it will warm up and then we'll solve the problems. But at the start it was exactly the same, and I did all the procedures, but it's not often I have to say this, but the Audi let me down a bit. Now we're ready for the first start of the season. We're driving with the Porsche Cayman of JDK. Always a tense moment, this. And off we go. At the front, it's the D'Ieteren Porsche taking the lead from the Belgium Racing Porsches, both of them. And then in fourth is the Meurders Porsche, with the Audi of Haas RT and Peter Gullings at the start, now completely fixed, and it can take a pit lane start, not losing too much time there. Here we're driving with Peter Gullings. The D'Ieteren Porsche followed by the Belgium Racing Porsche. Glenn van Parijs and Dylan de Dale fighting for the lead and creating a gap already. Duct taped NCM BMW taking the best start in the Club Sport category. While at the front, Van Parijs and de Dale are still fighting hard with the other Belgium Racing Porsche, and plenty of other Porsches right behind it. Still plenty of fights going on, also in Supersport, between the Audi and the BMW. The D'Ieteren Porsche and the Belgium Racing Porsche edging away from the others. The MM Racing, the VR Racing by NGT Porsches right behind the 98 Belgium Racing. That's the silver colored car. Here we go, a group of 4 fighting for third position, then a gap, and then the leaders in the GTS category. And there's an issue for ML Autosport already, and the full course yellow has to be towed back.
Er is een sensor losgekomen.
Sensor came loose, a sensor of only a few rows that caused the computer into an emergency mode. So the car locked itself, we towed it in, we plugged it in, and we wanted to leave again, but unfortunately the regulations say that once towed in, you have to retire. So it's the same for everyone. It's a big shame, but we can do it again in Spa-Francorchamps, right? That retirement of the ML Autosport BMW is to the advantage of the MSTC Mazda MX-5 of Alain de Jong and Tom van der Heijden. But there's still another ML Autosport BMW in the race of Jörg Hendricks and Dries Gelade. In Club Sport, the 57i powered by GRT Motorsport BMW. Fighting for the honours against this Buga Auto Alfa Romeo of Peter Benz and Alan Leijzen. They've changed from the Abarth of last year to the Alfa Romeo, but it's Laurens Kloets in the duct-taped NCM leading the race for the moment in Club Sport. Here's the 88 IC Motorsport BMW in fourth now for in Supersport, just behind the Racing Projects Team Heiveld BMW. It's the 601 of Koen Wouters, David Tech BMW. Also fighting in a Supersport, but for the moment it's the VP Racing Audi of Van Pelt and Bertels leading the race in that category. The GTS class, fight between the Porsche Cayman of Benjamin de Kock and Julian Jane de Keersmaker against the Van Hooydonk Batwijn Salislag Racing Team Mercedes AMG GT4. For the moment it's the Mercedes leading. At the front there's still a good fight going on between the Porsches, with the MM Racing fighting for maybe a podium finish. That's the yellow and blue one, the 23 car, fighting with the 92 of VR Racing by NGT of Dirk and Tom van Rompuy. But these are still leading, Glenn van Parijs and Dylan de Dalle, but there might be a penalty for Dylan de Dalle. After that full course yellow. These are the standings after half an hour racing. It's only a small gap between the D'Ieteren Porsche and the Belgian Racing Porsche. That's the end of the first part. See you after the break. Back in Zolder for the opening round of the Belcar Endurance Championship. And for the moment, it's the D'Ieteren Luxury Performance Porsche leading the team of Lionel Hansen. We've had a couple of good races at the beginning of the year, both in Belcar and the Carrera Cup in Deluxe, but also in Circuit and Rally. We have three top drivers here, that's for the entire championship. Yes, we're going to do the entire championship. Robin joined us just here to prepare for the Zolder 24 hours. And Lawrence Vantor and Bertrand Baguette are driving with us for the 24 hours as well. But we're doing the entire championship with Glenn van Parijs and Cedric Wouters. And a good start of the season as well for the MSTC Mazda.
Alain de Jong on the leading in
Alain de Jong in the lead in the Club Challenge. You still have to get used to that new series with the beautiful Mazda, but everything is going well. So far, certainly, we've been able to drive a nice pace. The car is normally reliable, and we were able to prove that today. It's also a new class that has been upgraded a bit, which also offers possibilities for smaller vehicles, and that's certainly good for you. Just like the Mazda, that's a cup car. It's quite affordable for national championship races, and there's also quite a few cars like that. So now for the moment we're not that many in class, but if more join, there's actually a good entry for the class for the Belcar, I think.
Klasse voor de Belcar, denk ik.
In the 57 car, the IR powered by Motorsport, is David Vinke. In Club Sport, fighting for the honours.
David Vinke, net je stint.
David Vinke, you just finished your stint second in Club Sport at the moment. Did it go well? Yes, it went very well. I missed the start a bit. I have to manually turn off the DSC in the car for 8 seconds. And in the focus, I completely forgot about it. I drove 2 laps with DSC on, and I thought the car is spluttering too much. What's wrong? And then I understood DSC. I got into my lap quite quickly and constantly able to drive it in 149s and close in on the Alpha. And now we have second place at the driver change, and that's fantastic. There's an issue with the Alpha indeed. That's the end of their race. The Alfa Romeo Giulia is out of the race. That's in the Club Sport category as well. Club Sport category still led by Laurens Kloot and the duct tape NCM. Good opening stint here, taking full advantage of the full course yellow as well. And Kloot doing the race all by himself. He's getting on the way again. Good fight between the Davitec BMW and the Audi for the Supersport honours. Also the racing projects team Heiveld BMW of the Man and Dogs drivers. But for the moment it's the Audi 747 leading. It's also in 10th overall halfway through the race. Good start for Van Pelt and Bertels. I had a very bad start. I was blocked a bit at the start. It was very bad. I lost a bit of confidence in the car. It was not yet optimal. We have a different setup than last year. We have a very light rear now, so I had to build it up a bit more. I couldn't full attack right away. But in the end, we had a really nice fight for first place in class, and we came out on top. For the moment, that is. The JDK Porsche fighting for honours in the GTS class. In second for the moment, Benjamin de Kock and Juna Jane de Keersmaker. They're a bit behind the SRT Mercedes AMG GT4. Here it is, leading the GTS class and in 9th overall as well. Very good first race for them. And the Gullings are getting to the front as well. Nicolas Gullings has taken over from his dad and is doing his first stint almost without mistakes. Almost. Not much time lost there in the Villeneuve chicane. And Nicolas Gullings comes back in to give the car back to his dad. Pretty good first stint for Nicolas Gullings.
Nicolas Gullings, it is
Nicolas Gullings, that's it. You've done your first stint. How was it? It was pretty good. Certainly for my experience, I can't complain at all. In general, there was some improvement, but I'm very satisfied for the first time. The 14 Porsche of Alnimax Racing. 7th overall, halfway through the race. Behind the number 2 car, the Russell Racing by Art Racing of the Thies brothers and Christophe Korten. And then the Belgium Racing car, which lost a bit of time due to a drive-through penalty after speeding up too early at the end of the full course yellow. The 23 car is still fighting for a podium finish.
Steve Meurders, een mooie vierde plaats toen je binnenkwam.
Steve Meurders, a nice fourth place when it came in. Went very well for you. Yes, it went very well indeed. We agreed on a strategy in advance, and that has gone very well so far. Pretty happy with that. Hopefully we can continue like this. It's only a 2-hour race. It's very short with a Porsche. It's still a very big strategy, even with 3 drivers. Yes, that's right. With 2 drivers, you have a fairly big advantage. But we have gambled well so far, and I think it will go well. He's the second of the Belgium racing Porsches of Michael Kool and Brent Verheyen. Verheyen, a late addition to the team. And Dale and Lorijsen getting to the front again, but lost some crucial time there.
Dylan Derdale, eerste stint.
Dale, your first stint, how was it? It was a nice fight from the first positions. Yes, I had a nice fight with Glenn. That went well for a while. We came back and he went back, but then we had the full course yellow, and I started a bit too fast there, and I got a drive through for that. So okay, then I was 34 seconds behind Glenn. But at the end of the stint, I was able to get closer to 21 seconds. So yes, okay, it is what it is.
It is what it is.
And from that moment on, this car was set on winning this opening round. The D-Tron Luxury performance by NGT Porsche 992. Glenn van Parijs, Cedric Wouters and Robin Knudsen. Halfway through the race here, it had a 22-second lead on the first of the Belgium racing Porsches. The MSTC Mazda of de Jong and van der Heijden would take the win in the Club Challenge category. In Club Sport, it was Laurens Kloets with his BMW 125i, beating the higher powered by GRT Motorsport BMW by 2 laps. Super Sport category, Davy Tech BMW of Koen Wouters finished in third. Some 2 laps behind the VP Racing Audi, winning the Super Sport category. And at the front, the D-Tron Luxury Performance Porsche eventually could relax in the second half of the race. Everything was under control. And Glenn van Parijs, Robin Knudsen and Cedric Wouters took the win with some 7 seconds in hand, with a well-deserved first win from the 99 Belgium Racing Porsche and the 98 Belgium Racing Porsche, finishing in second and third. And some happy class winners there as well, with the SRT Mercedes winning GTS. But it was D-Tron who won the first race.
Robin Knudsen, first win, first race, first win. Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you very much. I feel my stint struggled a little bit with the balance of the car. Made some few mistakes here and there, and my team at Glenn van Parijs, who started the race, did really a mega job, and I feel he won the race for us today. So.
Michael Kool and Brent Verheyen finished in third.
Bij de start wel meteen duidelijk dat de top 2...
The start was immediately clear. The top 2 were really going fast. We immediately set our goals to secure that third place, and we did that well. Jan Lorijsen and Dylan Derdale had to settle for second.
Jan Lorijsen.
Jan Lorijsen, fantastic race. It got a bit close at the end because there was only 6 or 7 seconds in it. Yes, that's right. Yes, of course, we made a mistake. That was punished very hard here. But there was only one thing left after that, and that it was pushing until the end. Indeed, 6 or 7 seconds, that was it. But okay, we got out of it what was in it. And in itself, we're still pretty happy for the championship. This is a good thing, this second place. And Glenn van Parijs setting some fast lap times as well.
Super tevreden inderdaad, goed gezegd.
Super satisfied indeed. The previous lap record was in the Carrera Cup, was also I who did it. We came close this time, but not quite. It was a difficult qualifying session with those red flags and such. But yes, enjoyed the lap, and it's when you enjoy it that you are also fast. So great. The car was absolutely great. So it's time for the celebrations for the drivers of the 2 Belgium Racing Porsches and the D-Tron Porsche on the highest step. GTS class, the Grand Touring Sport, went to the Sellerslag Racing Team, Mercedes.
Quinten van Hooijdonk,
GTS straight into the pocket and immediate victory. Congratulations. Yeah, thank you. It was really a great race. At the end, the tires were a bit worn, but we controlled the race until the end. Just the start, we pushed a bit, and then for the rest, we controlled it and brought the car home at ease. Winning Supersport, the VP Racing Audi.
Nick van Pelt, proficiat met
Nick van Pelt, congratulations on your win. Yes, it was not an easy battle. We made a small adjustment with the full course yellows. We did our pit stop, and 1 lap later it was full course yellow. So it was not really a mistake, it was just bad luck. And then we had to fight back to drive back to first, and after our second pit stop exactly the same. So, but we took that first place again, and we held on to it. And Laurens Kloets was the winner of the season opener in the Club Sport category. Great win, driving all by himself.
Dat was Claude's Club Sport.
That was Claude's Club Sport. You won immediately. Congratulations. Thank you. It wasn't easy. They rode the first half hour like a sprint race to gain a bit of a gap. And then our team then brought me in immediately during full course yellow. We gained a lot of time with that during the full course yellow to complete the pit stop. And we're driving all by yourself for 2 hours, not easy either. It was actually not too bad. The car is still working well at the moment. We're working on proving that. But yes, it's going well, and physically we're still strong. And winning Club Challenge, the MSTC duo.
Tom van der Rijden, proficiat.
Tom van der Rijden, congratulations. Victory in the Club Challenge. Congratulations. Thank you. It was very unexpected. 2 weeks ago, I got a phone call from Jan Waters from MCC if I did want to get into the Mazda. And yesterday, I got to know the car for the first time and the lane. So, yes, it was an unexpected result. The BMWs in the class were faster, but those guys had some bad luck. So, we were able to make it by constantly driving and driving to the finish.
We hebben het kunnen halen door constant blijven te rijden en uit te rijden.
And here are the final results of the opening round of the Belcar Endurance Championship. D-Twin Porsche wins it from both Belgium Racing Porsches. That was it. See you next time.